What is that doing here?
Hello, welcome back to Star Trek Sodium. This week we have Star Trek Next Generation's Series 4 Classic, Reunion. Now on to some facts about Reunion that you didn't even know. Being filmed in the autumnal season of fall, the wind would often blow leaves across the studio floor when the actresses of the silver screen would go out for their frequent cigarette breaks, leaving the doors wide open to the elements. To the dismay of Michael Piller, the wind-scattered leaves and cigarette ends would make such a mess that during the production of Reunion, they had to keep sweeping the ground every few minutes, sometimes stopping filming to clear up the crucial debris that would gather on the floor. Things reportedly culminated in utter mayhem when a cigarette end struck the data robot actor, Spiner, in his cyber eye, smearing his expensive contact lens with greasy tar and ash. It was nearly 2:30 in the afternoon when Lever Burton noticed that the Wesley person had gone missing. His scenes with the young man just couldn't be filmed. Downing his high-tech engineering tools, Burton and his assistant possibly started searching for the teen, looking high and low throughout the building, growing more and more concerned for his buttery welfare. Opening the door to the building's dingy basement, they located the young actor, who was oscillating in private, away from the prying eyes of his colleagues and the public. Disappointed with the lanky scruff, Lever took him by the hand and led him back to the set, where he could resume filming, but not before the Wesley person mopped away the sweat from his brow. Visiting the studio the week of Reunion's production was Hollywood princess Carrie Fisher, who had come to give tips to everyone on how to create good science fiction. Humouring her, the actors gathered together in a science fiction huddle where they had pre-planned to clap along at her every word. Minutes later, Carrie was seen hurriedly leaving the studio, driven away by her brother, Fisher Stevens, who himself had a disdain of Star Trek on the whole, because Star Trek had won the great science fiction war of 1988 against his movie Short Circuit 2. He had allegedly plotted to send in Carrie Fisher to make the Star Trek actors feel like they weren't good enough and inadequate for science fiction, but the plan had quickly become derailed by the TNG actors' quick thinking. Things came to a head at the studio this week when Patrick Stewart was possibly finally told by Rick Berman to wipe the stupid look off of his hensing face. The Picard actor had been walking around the studio with the strained expression on his usually placated face for a few weeks now, and Berman had had enough of seeing it. Witnesses allege that Berman threw the episode script on the floor in anger and tried the usual trick of persuading the egg-headed actor to do as he wanted by offering him an English-style pork pie, but the pie was disregarded, leading to the angry producer resorting to bare-faced threats. Any evidence of this, though, has since been lost to the sands of time, and the witnesses are now completely dead. Rumour has it that when Michael Piller heard that the episode Reunion was to go into production next, he absolutely went haywire, going on an expletive-laden tirade about how Klingons get just too much screen time, but there's nothing other than lump-headed nuisances on the screen during Klingon episodes. The Data robot actor Spiner reportedly went on to say, in a since-lost interview, that he saw the Worf actor sitting in the corner of the set crying about Pillar's negative Klingon comments with a look of pure despair in his eyes. Dynamic slogan mogul Sabrina Stain was visiting the infamous Star Trek studio at the time of producing this soapy episode to help market the characters and to make them more popular with the public. Slogans that she created for the characters to help with their popularity included Picard's slogan, "Sharp head, sharp mind." Deanna Troy's slogan, "Feeling deep, her eyes betray no trust." Dr. Crusher's suggested slogan was the obvious, "Taking care, giving care," while Riker's slogan shocked no one. From ear to ear, the growth continues. From his mouth sparks enthusiasm. So far, so underwhelming, but it was the Wesley person's slogan that would really turn heads. As young as ice, as tall as the trees, he pushes the limit with his young chubby cheeks. This episode marks the debut of the popular Klingon character of Gowron.
She's the girl with the eyes. Yeah, she's the girl with the eyes.
But did you know that the Bobby O'Reilly actor was urged to get his sleepy eyes surgically altered so that he could attain a stare from his eyes that would make him both unsettling and barbarically beautiful? Rumour has it that Rick Berman personally paid using his own money for the young and sincere actor to have his eye sockets enlarged by 40 to 41%, which would unfortunately also have the side effect of the actor's eyes occasionally falling out of the facilitating holes from time to time. Now, we all know that this episode's name is Reunion, but did you know that there were other, more preliminary episode names in contention? The names attached to earlier versions of the scripts of this episode include the Klingon Prize, the Klingon Gazebo, Gowron's Rise, the Longest Stare, the Eyes of a Maniac, Klingon Eyes, Beach Duras, Belinda, and the Longest Klingon Stare Gowron Attack Velvet. Everyone had been feeling at ease during the Hensing production of this episode, but things were turned on their upside-down head when the Mugent raised its ugly head. The Mugent had been hibernating in the dumpster behind the Star Trek IX studio when it was apparently awoken by the Klingon language being spouted from that Gowron actor with the big eyes. Awakening from its health-replenishing slumber, the Mugent burst through the emergency exit at the back of the studio, gurgling as it sped towards the first person it saw. The extra playing one of the Klingons was first in its sights, as it cemented its reputation as a disgraceful, drooling mastermind. Its trail of cack was enough to make everyone scream as it continued its nasty wrath. Thanks ever so much for listening to my fascinating facts all about the Next Generation episode Reunion, which is, I think, the 7th episode of Season 4, and it's really a fantastic episode in the Klingon subculture of Star Trek. Thanks for listening to my facts. I hope you enjoyed some of them at least. If you enjoyed even one of them, then you can go ahead and give it a like. I don't mind you doing that. And subscribe. Come back next time, because hopefully I'll have some more Star Trek facts that you didn't even know. Thanks. Bye. Ooh.